Junelle Bromfield is my guest in the big chair tonight. I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you for agreeing
to
talk to me. First off, let me ask you just a very generic question. How are you?
I'm doing good. I feel as if after the Olympic, life has taken a turn for the good, because yesterday I was in New York and I got to walk in my first fashion show, which is a big milestone, I would say, because it's New York Fashion Week. So I'm happy about that.
Fantastic. So I was struck by your response when we reached out to you. I just mentioned it in the opening. I wanted to fly you home. You said you don't want to come home right now. Further, Junelle, you said you're afraid to come home.
I mean, during the Olympics and even before, I had to turn off my inbox because I was getting death threats from people. I had Jamaicans in my inbox saying that they wish my foot gets broken when I'm running at the Olympics, and if I come home, they're going to basically kill me. So I didn't feel like it was the right time, even though I wanted to go back to see my family, to go home.
Do you think people understand the magnitude of what has been happening to you in the last couple of months? Do we get it?
Personally, no. And that's because I grew up in Jamaica. I only moved here 2 years ago. And growing up, I feel as if people say things without knowing how much hurt it might cause. It could be families, friends, they say stuff and they don't know that they're basically creating trauma in children, in adults, because when they say it, they're like, oh, we don't mean anything by it. But it's not about the person who's tossing the insult, basically, is how the person takes it.
It's going to a person. When they tag you, it's not just a handle.
Yes.
You're a human being.
Yeah.
And you told me that it was really therapy that has kind of underpinned and undergirded you through this season. Yes. And therapy, interestingly, is something that Noah, your boyfriend, convinced you into doing.
Yes.
Because you got into track, and track took you out of a certain place in your life.
Yes.
And it's like you won't allow yourself to live even in that space where you're earning now and because you're afraid to go back.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So I grew up in a poor community. It's called Georges Valley, where when I grew up, I didn't see a profession bigger than a teacher at the point when I was in there. Mm-hmm. So growing up, I would say my mom did a pretty amazing job of not letting us know that we were poor, because we never went to bed hungry or anything. But when I was 8, I traveled, and I use this story as a reference. On nights when she did not have any money, she used to make us oatmeal. Mm-hmm. And it tasted so good because she used to put in nutmeg and everything, and it was good. But we used to have to wait 30 minutes to get that oatmeal because she had it soaking in the fridge. And when we got it, half the cup was water and it was just oatmeal in the bottom. So I thought that's how you eat oatmeal. So I went to a meet when I was 8, and I had something different. They gave me oatmeal and it was thick. And I was like, this is not how you make oatmeal.
You can't make oatmeal.
Yeah. And everybody was like, this is how you eat oatmeal. And that's when I realized that I was living in a whole different world from even people who were in Kingston. Because even the people on the team, the kids were like, oh, you country. I'm like, I didn't see myself as country. Mm-hmm. It was just what I knew. But I started to see the world differently. Mm-hmm. And when I came out, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go back, because I don't want to be limited to just being a teacher. I don't want to stop going to school at 14 or 15. I want to go my furthest in life, basically. So I was like, I'm going to be an Olympian. Mm-hmm. And
so you decided at 8 that you were going to be an Olympian?
Yes, because I used to wake up in the morning 2 o'clock watching races. So I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Look at you in the middle of your dream.
Yes, I am. Sometimes I forget.
Sometimes you have to Pinch yourself.
Yeah.
Janelle, look at you, girl. Look at you. You know, self-praise, sometimes they say self-praise is no recommendation, but sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, boy, I did the thing.
Yeah.
What's good, my beautiful peeps? It is Jamfi. Now, I absolutely love this because we have a chance to sit down and hear Junelle Bromfield's full side of the story. Yes, we have seen some of her messages online via Instagram, via TikTok, her social medias, but now we have a chance to sit down and watch a full interview with her explaining her full side of the story, why the hate is coming in, what's happening, and how she's dealing with it. Now, that clip I shared at the starting of the video, now that is not the full interview, it's just a clip of the interview. The full interview is not posted as yet, but as promised, I told y'all that I'm gonna keep y'all updated, and I just had to share that side of the interview. As I said, it's just a clip of the full interview, not the full interview, but when the full interview gets released, I will be on it as promised. But I want to speak on a few things, and the first thing is Junelle Bromfield stated that a lot of times it's not the people that are giving the insults, but it's the people who are getting the insults. Now, a lot of people, especially Jamaicans, we tend to say we Jamaicans are tough, we grow tough. So when words or insults are being thrown at us, we are said to, tough it out. And that is what Junelle Bromfield is trying to share, that not everybody, even if you're Jamaican, that doesn't mean that you'll have the ability to tough out the insults. And just to remind y'all, some of these insults include death threats, and not everybody can take it lightly. Some people might say, oh well, we Jamaicans are just saying that we're not going to do that, while you might have some other persons that take it seriously because they're just being fully cautious. So it all depends on someone's perspective. And again, that is what Junelle Bromfield is trying to share. Not everybody is the same. So not everybody will be able to take those insults lightly, to take those death threats lightly, and just move on with their life. That is not the case. Now, the next thing I want to speak about is the fact that Junelle Bromfield states that she's scared of, returning to Jamaica. Now, in my previous video on this topic, I mentioned that it should be normalized, to be scared. And I take that back. None of these two should be scared to come to Jamaica. None. Because the truth of the matter is, even, the case that went down where Noah Lyles exposed what Junelle Bromfield told him, at the end of the day, none of that impacted our athletes. Because that is the truth. That is the truth. Jamaicans are just looking for an excuse to blame these two. Because the truth is, if Junelle Bromfield tell Noah Lyles that, listen, Kishane Thompson is injury prone, that still isn't going to stop the fact that Kishane will run fast or slow, because those words are just not gonna do anything. Those are not gonna prevent him from running faster or slower, because she's just telling him that, hey, he's injury prone. And that is just me using an example, by the way. So what I'm trying to say is that even with that case, that went down between these two, and Noah Lyles, basically revealed or exposed that Junelle Bromfield have given him some information on the Jamaican athletes, those information did not impact the Jamaican athletes. So we need to stop using that as an excuse to blame the couple, and we have to just move past it. And while saying that, I'm going to say this, and it might trigger some people. I believe that after this interview, Junelle Bromfield should move past this also. I understand that she wants to, share her voice. But I believe that same way, or I'm telling, all the critics and everybody to move past, is the same way Junelle Bromfield and Noah Lyles should move past this. As I said, after this interview, I expect them to just move past it and just, put it behind them. But as I said, I'm just coming in out to share this clip to give some insight on what Junelle Bromfield will be talking about. As I stated, this is not the full interview. I will touch down when the full interview drop. Remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, as it will be greatly appreciated. But thank you for your time, and thank you for watching. It is your boy Jamfi and the Mo.